Hey everybody, welcome back to Lemon Branch Travels. Today we are in downtown Nashville and we are checking out some of the sights and sounds from the downtown area. In fact, we are right in front of, well, there's the pedestrian walkway behind us, but there's also the Country Music Hall of Fame. We are going to have a blast, so come along with us. You know, those who travel have stories to tell, so let's go tell a story. Okay, right behind me is the entrance into the Country Music Hall of Fame. So we're gonna go in there. We've got tickets to go check that out today. It's a Saturday, so it's pretty busy. There's lots of things happening in the city today. We're right in front of the Hilton Hotel. And in fact, this is where you can check in for the Hilton downtown Nashville, which is a really convenient place if you wanna stay right in front of the Country Music Hall of Fame. But there's a lot of things right here. We are really close, only about a block away from Broadway, which is where so much fun stuff is happening. You saw the pedestrian walkway just behind me there. And then this literally is the Country Music Hall of Fame right there. So, like I said, this behind me is the Hilton. And then to get your kind of bearings, this right here is the Bridgestone Arena that's right behind me where the Nashville Predators play. That's the NHL team. So, you know, it's a kind of a gloomy, overcast day, but it's a great day to be here. The temperature's in the 50s. It's a glorious day to be in Nashville. So let's go check out the Country Music Hall of Fame. All right, so this is what the front of the Country Music Hall of Fame looks like. And so like I said, it's just in the heart of downtown Nashville. Shows you right there on the front who some of the top artists are right now in country music. You got the T Swift and of course Luke Combs. You can never go wrong with Luke Combs or T Swift, right? Okay, so we are actually inside the Country Music Hall of Fame. Now, we just got our tickets and you just enter in right there by that mural. That's also where the songwriters, you can pay to go and do a thing all on songwriters and how they wrote the songs and things like that. That's really fun to do, as well as the museum itself. Now, the museum does not allow any photography. Well, they allow photography, but no video. So from this point on, I'm just going to be doing some still shots. But first, before we do that, we're going to head into the songwriter session, and we're going to check out what that's all about. If they don't let me video, we'll see if we can take some pictures in there. Okay, so here is a fun one for you to think about. This is the songwriter session at the Country Music Hall of Fame, and it's like stepping into basically the heart of Nashville's music scene. Nashville songwriters write hundreds of songs a year, but only a handful ever get recorded. But at this session, we are going to hear stories behind the hits that basically came directly from the people who wrote them. So think of this as it's live, it's a mini storytelling concert, and the best part is at the end we get to ask questions. Another cool fact is some of these songwriters have written for country legends, but you may also hear them talk about their big breaks or songs that they wrote, like 15 minutes that turned into these chart toppers, right? So here's the best part of this. It's super interactive. You can ask any question. Trust me, they're more than happy to spill the tea on what it's really like in the music industry. They do not hold back. They tell you basically how hard it's been for them, the good, the bad, the ugly, or if you just want to get a deeper look at what makes Nashville the songwriting capital of the world, this session is a hidden gem. Okay, so this session, it's fun, it's inspiring, and it is totally Nashville. So check it out next time you're in town. Okay, let's head into the actual Music Hall of Fame itself. And as I mentioned, there's no video in here, so here's a bunch of still shots. But the very first thing that you come to is the Taylor Swift Education Center. Taylor Swift has been a huge supporter of the museum, and she's donated millions to help create this particular space. It's a great hub for creativity, learning, offering different songwriting workshops, instrument lessons, and different art projects. If you are going to be visiting with kids, make sure you grab the family guide. It's packed with scavenger hunts, trivia, fun facts. It makes exploring the museum a blast for all ages, really. It's a great way to keep everyone engaged as you wander through the country music history. So the Country Music Hall of Fame is filled with jaw-dropping exhibits. You're going to see Elvis Presley's iconic gold Cadillac here. It's covered in crushed diamonds and fish scales. Talk about flashy. It does sparkle, but it was state-of-the-art at the time. Pretty awesome. Also throughout the museum, you're going to see a bunch of different stage outfits, different handwritten lyrics from different legends like Johnny Cash, Patsy Cline, Dolly Parton. Every one of these pieces obviously tells stories. It lets you really get to know these different artists and kind of where they come from and their backgrounds. Now let's talk about Luke Combs. He does hold the largest section of items in the museum, obviously for good reason, with all of his big hits and what he's really achieved over just a short amount of time. And I love that they give him such a large section. The section includes everything from his first guitar to his CMA awards and even some of his handwritten lyrics. And it's a true celebration of his journey and the impact that he's had on modern country music. Another fun thing that they have here in the museum, it's, in my opinion, one of the coolest new exhibits. It's Jelly Roll. He has a custom-made jacket here on display. Lainey Wilson's here with her iconic bell bottoms that have become her signature look. So there you have it. The Country Music Hall of Fame is awesome. It's a place where you can really dive into the history of country music. It's a place where you can really see some of the creative vibes and the creativity that these artists have had that influenced them and made them basically what they are today. So if you are in Nashville, this is a definite do not miss. And it will take you a little bit of time to go through. Make sure you plan enough time to not rush, and so you can see all the exhibits. It's going to take a minute. Okay, right outside of or next to the Country Music Hall of Fame, there is the Hatch Show Print Shop, and this is another option. If you once you buy your ticket to the Country Music Hall of Fame, you have an option. You could either do the Studio B tour or you could do this tour, but it's it's also another option. It's really fun. This is where they print a lot of the posters and the different promo things like that for the different artists. So they do have the tour that you could take in here as well. Okay, you guys, what is behind me is Studio B. Now, this is a really famous recording studio here in Nashville. Studio B was built in 1957 right in the heart of Nashville's Music Row. It was one of the first studios in the city to offer the cutting-edge tech of the time, including multi-track recording. But what really sets it apart is the artists that recorded here. This is where legends, and I mean legends like Elvis Presley, Dolly Parton, and the Everly Brothers brought their songs to life. In fact, Elvis recorded more than 200 songs here. Talk about a history-making place. One of the reasons RCA Studio is so iconic is because of the Nashville sound. This style of music emerged here in the late 50s and early 60s, and it helped make Nashville the country music capital of the world. The Nashville sound combines smooth strings, backup vocals, and polished production, which was a shift from the more honky-tonk and western swing that came before it. Artists like Patsy Cline recorded some of her biggest hits right in this very room, and those songs still shape country music today. The sound of Studio B wasn't just a product of the musicians, it was the studio itself. The acoustics are specifically designed to create the perfect balance between vocals and instruments, and the room has a really unique feel. It's warm, but the sound bounces off the walls in a way that makes everything sound bigger than life. It is currently still an active recording studio, and it can still be booked to record music to this very day. So this is something that can be booked along with your Country Music Hall of Fame. There are shuttles that will take you to and from Studio B, and so really consider looking into this. This is really a fun place to come. Tons of history, so iconic, and it's a must-do. All right, everybody, we are in downtown Nashville. We're on the pedestrian walkway bridge. It's right off of Broadway. So when you come here and you go to the downtown area, you go to Broadway where all the bars and happenings are. There's a pedestrian bridge that everybody walks across, and it's literally right here off of Broadway. So you can just walk up here. It's a really pleasant walk, and you go right up over the river, and let me flip around here, and it's right by Nissan Stadium. So if you come to an NFL game, here is where Titan Stadium is, and so it's kind of a fun little place. It's a easy to get to and just really picturesque. So look how pretty it is. It's a little bit colder today, but it's actually a really nice day. So, but we're right in the downtown area, like I said, right by Broadway, and so a lot of fun things to do right here. But this is the pedestrian walkway bridge. You can just come walk right across. So yeah. Well, there you go. That gives you some bearings there. So okay, so this is the end of Broadway, and just so much to do here. Tons of bars, tons of music. It's really loud. It's really fun. Tons of people all over the place. But I'm just going to video, and you can enjoy some of the sights and sounds. There's Hard Rock and a mural over there. Okay, you guys, this is Printer's Alley. If you are visiting Nashville, this is a spot that you just have to come check out, especially if you are into history, if you love live music, and if you love nightlife with a little extra charm. So here is the backstory. Printer's Alley got its name because back in the late 1800s, this area was home to Nashville's publishing industry. So picture this, you got newspaper offices, printing presses, book publishers, they all lined these streets, and it was basically the media hub of the South. So now let's fast forward to the 1940s and the 50s. The alley went from printing to partying. And this is when Printer's Alley really became famous for its nightclubs and jazz bars. Back then, Prohibition had people sneaking around for a good time. And Printer's Alley was the place to deliver. It became the go-to spot for live entertainment. Today, Printer's Alley keeps that vintage vibe alive. The neon lights, the historic buildings make you feel like you are stepping back in time, but it's still buzzing with energy. So whether you're into karaoke, jazz, blues, or country, there's definitely a vibe here for you. Okay, this is the original Ryman Auditorium, or Ryman Theater. This is the original location of the Grand Ole Opry. And so now it's open. You can take tours here, and they have different events and things here too, but you can actually go and take tours here. But this is the original Ryman Theater. Okay, so this right here is the entrance, and this was an addition added later, but the original is this building back here, which still stands. Okay, so this is the original building itself. Okay, so they do pay tribute to a few of the Opry legends. That's Bill Monroe. That's Loretta Lynn. Right there. There's a Charlie Pride, and then on the other side, there's one for little Jimmy Dickin. So there she be. That's the original entrance into the Ryman Theater. Okay, there's the famous Dolly Parton mural. There she is. Broadway's just over that way. You go right down that street to the right and you'll find Broadway. Or just put it into your GPS and you will come back and find it, no problem at all. Okay, so if you're ever in the Nashville area, in the downtown area, there is, in Centennial Park, is an exact replica of the Parthenon. Same that's in Greece, it's a spec, and there's a museum inside that has a bunch of different statues in it, kind of exact replicas from the statues that were originally in the original Parthenon. So this is, you can walk around it. There is a museum inside that you can go in and check out. There's a little gift shop in there, but this is an exact replica. So if you're ever in the Nashville area, this is kind of a cool little place to come and check it out. Okay, so if you do want to go into the Parthenon, it does cost money. The adult tickets are $10. They do offer a discount for seniors 62 and older, and that's $8. Youth ages 4 to 7 are $8 also. Children 4 and under are free. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed discovering some of Nashville's best hidden gems. If you're planning a trip to Music City, make sure to check out these spots. You won't regret it. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more travel tips and hidden gems. Drop a comment down below with your favorite Nashville spot, or if you've been to any of these places, I'd love to hear about it. We have definitely told a story today. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.